What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is T. Lawrence, and today we will go on a little nostalgia trip. If you grew up in the 2010s, or hell, even the late 2000s, you know it was quite the decade for gaming. Classics like Call of Duty and Halo were plastered everywhere on screens. There was the dreaded console wars between Xbox and PlayStation fanboys, and eventually the rise of digital distribution, which made gaming much more accessible to the average consumer and put both of those fanboys to their places. That said, not all of us had the privilege of experiencing these golden years of gaming. As amazing as these consoles were, not all of us could afford to buy these pricey products, which especially sucked for me because at the time, I desperately wanted to have an Xbox so I could play the Halo games. Yes, nowadays, the entire catalog of classic Halo games is available on Steam in the form of the Master Chief Collection. Still, I can't help but feel that I missed out on a lot of pivotal moments of gaming during the decade. However, that's not to say that broke kids like myself missed out on gaming entirely. In fact, for those who didn't have consoles or any other gaming gadgets, we found other ways to game for free, specifically on the internet. If you're old enough, you know where I'm getting at: Flash games! Now, Flash games could be an entire topic for its own video, but in summary, these were free-to-play games on web browsers, and they especially dominated during the 2000s, with websites like Miniclip and Congregate being one of the most visited. All you needed was a decent computer, and no separate softwares were necessary for installment. You could just go on any website that hosted these games and just play with a simple click. Now, there are plenty of memorable Flash games we could cover, but today we will focus on one particular Flash game that served as a great alternative for those who desperately wanted to play the Halo games yet couldn't afford to. The Flash game that consistently topped the most played charts of various Flash sites. The Flash game that makes me go on a nostalgia overdose of my childhood. Raze. Raze is a 2D platform-based sci-fi shooter game developed by Justin Gonsalves and Addison Rodomista, otherwise known as Justin and Addison R respectively. Taking place in the far future, the premise involves an alien invasion of Earth, where you, the player, are part of a squad of elite soldiers known as Raze, and fight off these alien invaders. Now, judging from its visuals and aesthetics, it's pretty clear what the developers were trying to emulate. I mean, just look at some of the designs. For example, the armor of the Raze soldier seems awfully familiar. Even some of the aliens seem quite familiar as well. Even the weapon classes. Hang on, I swear I've seen this guy before. Alright, I'll stop. Look, there's no denying that Raze's theme is heavily inspired by Halo. Even so, that doesn't make it any less of a great game. Quite the contrary. When Raze released on February 25th, 2010, it became an instant hit within the Flash community, already hitting the top 10 rankings among other big shot games such as Commando 2 and Age of War. And it's no wonder why. Much like the classic Halo games, its simple yet fast-paced action, interesting variety of weapons, and creative level designs made Raze quite engaging to play. As you navigate through the various level maps, you rush to grab your weapon of choice before the enemy can, though nothing beats the rocket launcher. Just make sure you don't accidentally shoot the floor though. Suffice it to say, Raze has great replayability, which is a bit of a shame because it doesn't have an online multiplayer mode. Yes, Raze does have a quick match mode where you can create custom matches with different game modes, maps, match settings of your liking. However, you're still facing against bots, which just doesn't feel the same. I am telling you, if Raze had a multiplayer mode that allows us to face real players in online matches, it would have been a much bigger hit. And I would have procrastinated even harder during school. That said, keep in mind this was back in 2010, and the internet back then was not as developed as it is now. Therefore, it simply couldn't be helped with the technological limits at the time. Besides, we're not talking about a fully fledged console game made by a multi-million-dollar studio, but a Flash game from, once again, back in 2010, developed by just two passionate developers, which by those standards, it was spectacular. And despite the lack of a multiplayer mode, the single-player campaign mode is just as enjoyable, and frankly, where Raze truly shines. The campaign is actually divided into two parts, human and alien. But in order to unlock the aliens, we must first beat the human campaign, so that is where we will begin our journey. Besides, just like the Master Chief, I believe in defending Earth and humanity at all costs. Therefore, as we join our Raze squad, we will make these alien bastards regret invading Earth and kick those inhuman sons of bitches back to outer space. Mission 1. Training Day. Alright soldier, since you're new to the battlefield, we're going to run you through this quick obstacle course in our facility. Complete it, and you'll be killing aliens in no time. As the briefing said, we start in a training facility, where we're greeted with multiple screens that provide tutorials for the game, such as the movements and other environmental mechanics, like the jump pad, which allows us to reach higher platforms. As we enter some digital battle arena, we're greeted with even more screens instructing about weapon usage, before we finally face off our first opponent. Woot! Protection! And right as we descend, we are greeted with rocket fire, which we somehow managed to dodge. Fortunately, we managed to grab a shotgun, which easily eliminates the training bot. Take that! Soon, we flip the script by grabbing our own rocket launcher and quickly mopping up the training bot, which ends in a victory of our very first mission. The training bot has gotten 5 deaths without killing anyone. Ha, what a noob. And yes, I decided to name the player Capitan because I think it sounds way cooler than Lawrence. I hope you don't mind, Cap. Mission 2. Secure the facility. The aliens are attacking our toxic facility, which is one of our main sources of power. Go help Captain Simmons and his troops there by killing all enemies. Yes, sir! Geared up in a hazmat suit, we are dropped into a nuclear power plant, where we must eliminate the alien assault and prevent an energy crisis, or worse, cause a nuclear meltdown. As an elimination match, each team has collectively 10 lives, and whichever side runs out of lives first is the loser. We quickly grab a sniper rifle and dodge a rocket fire before returning the favor to the alien. Headshot, baby! We then grab our own rocket launcher, as well as a double damage bonus, which allows us to eviscerate the enemy, and accidentally fire on our own squad. Still, just like Training Day, we finish Mission 2 with ease. Also, can we just appreciate how much the soundtrack kicks ass? Mission 3. Defend the facility. The enemies have brought in reinforcements. Hold down the facility until they retreat. We must defend the facility at all costs. Yes, sir, may I have another? We continue the fight in the nuclear power plant as the alien threat refuses to relent. We're unfortunately greeted with a stray rocket, making us the first death of the match.
Boo! You stink!
But then, one of the aliens decides to off himself by somehow shooting a rocket at the ground. We then grab a grenade launcher and start spamming those glowy balls at the aliens, earning ourselves a double kill. Next, we take a skinny dip in the toxic waste, but not too long since it sucks the life out of you. Though Captain Simmons seems to be enjoying himself. Private Miller, no! Take that, you damn alien freak. 5 kill streak. I love my job. Well, my job is alright. After grabbing another rocket launcher, we make 2 more kills, but barely alive after a point-blank shotgun blast. Still, in the end, we win the match with a 22-11 score, finally driving off those pesky damn aliens. Mission 4. VR Training. Now that you're back, we're going to put you through a quick training exercise. That's not how you spell exercise. Anyways, to further increase your skills in combat. Oh, so that was actually VR. We take a break from fighting aliens and instead enter another VR arena and once again face off against BattleBots. This time, however, it's every man for himself. Instead of a team deathmatch, we play a standalone deathmatch, where the individual player who earns the most kills wins. Fortunately, we managed to grab an invincibility bonus and an ice chain gun, which would allow us to mow down our enemies, were it not for its terrible accuracy. Still, we get a hold of a grenade launcher and dominate the arena. Uh-oh, damn, too late. Unfortunately, we get a magnum shot to the leg, though not before firing off one last grenade and getting the last laugh. Target, head. Finally, with a sniper rifle and double damage combo, we wrap up the match to victory. Mission 5. New Technology. To help combat the aliens, we have created an expensive robot prototype with high-impact armor plating. Try it out for us and test its durability. It's time to go on a power trip. As this sleek-looking robot, we infiltrate the aliens' base and begin going Terminator on those aliens, finally delivering an overdue payback. Why was I programmed to feel pain? Because pain is a great motivator. As the mission brief implied, our health is multitudes higher than default, thus allowing us to take a lot of damage, so much as withstanding multiple shots from high damage weapons like railguns. However, there are no health packs or shields in this level, so you still need to be mindful about taking damage. Furthermore, as tempting as it is to charge straight into the aliens, you are not invincible. When the aliens are grouped together and armed with railguns and grenade launchers, they can actually take you down relatively quickly. So my advice, wait for the aliens to disperse and pick them off in isolation. Well, unless you're that great and just want to go Leroy Jenkins! Be my guest. In the end, the prototype robot performed successfully, thus leading us to victory. The robots are coming. Mission 6. Error. We've created multiple cheaper prototypes for use within... You know what? I'll stop. Within different landscapes. But there was a bug in them that caused them to go berserk during transport. Eliminate the other bots and keep the main prototype safe. Well, looks like we have a robot civil war going on here. We begin inside a transport ship, where we face off against our malfunctioning robot peers, who must regretfully be put to their place. This ship is only big enough for one robot anyways. Now, since the other robots also have high health like us, this level can become a bit tedious. Therefore, to speed things up, try to utilize rockets or grenade launchers, as they will make quick work. Though sniper rifles and shotguns can also make do, especially if you aim for the head as always. Also, fun fact, you get to actually step outside the ship and experience low Gs. However, since it's outer space, don't stay out there too long, as it will also suck the life out of you. Error, damage to self equals positive. No, self-damage is never positive. Do not listen to the robot, people. Hasta la vista, baby. Now, where the hell is the last robot? Ah, there you are. Ah, damn, he's got a rocket. Boom! Victory! Mission 7. Backup. Sergeant Johnson has lost the squad. Well, wait, Sergeant Johnson? See? What did I tell you? This can't be a coincidence. Go assist him as best you can. He knows crucial information about the enemy that we need. Don't worry, Sergeant Johnson. Capitan to the rescue. There he is. The man, the myth, the legend, Sergeant Johnson. Unfortunately, it's 2 against 4, so it's urgent to get ahead of the match as quickly as possible. Grab what you can and get to work immediately. Okay, that has to be an aimbot. Come on. Ooh, rocket launcher. I got your ass now. What the hell is, Hadeshunta? Wait, that shouldn't be possible. Damage doesn't go through walls. What the hell? This isn't looking too good. Boom, headshot, baby. Boom, shotgun beats rocket. It was a close match, but Sergeant Johnson and I are still victorious. Mission 8. The Undead. What? It seems the aliens have been experimenting with the undead. Stay alive until more reinforcements arrive. Be careful. We don't know how the undead fights. First aliens, and now zombies too? So just as things couldn't get any worse with an alien invasion, now we face a zombie outbreak in this war-torn city. Even worse, those zombies can use weapons as well. But, fortunately for us, the zombies aren't exactly the smartest. As you can see, their reaction times and fire rate are quite slow, making it easy to just sneak up on them and spam headshots. However, they do have higher health than the aliens, so if you're gonna go for the kill, do it quickly and decisively. Therefore, as always, grab a rocket launcher, because rockets beat everything. But shotguns work great as well, especially up close and with double damage. Brains. Unfortunately for the zombies, they don't seem to have much of any, which is why this match was honestly a breeze. Heads up, boom! Mission 9. Cleansing. Really? We have studied the zombies and found that they are very damage resistant, but not very smart. Pfft, yeah, you got that right. We have created a stronger armor for you and your teammates. Eliminate the rest of the zombies in the city. It's time to rid the city of the undead. Now that we're finally joined up with the rest of our squad, we can finally go on the offensive against the zombies. Not only that, we also evened the playing field by being equipped with these weird skull-looking armor. I'm not sure how it provides better protection, but it does look cool as hell, so I ain't complaining. Boom! Double kill. Hey guys, long time no see. How you doing? Whoa, you guys catch that shot? That was right across the map. Man, it really does feel like I'm battling the Flood from Halo, but not as terrifying. Good thing I got this helmet. Yes, wear your helmets, kids, so you don't end up like this guy. Holy crap, I just survived a rocket to the face. This helmet really does work. And finally, we rid the city of the undead, leading us to victory. Mission 10, The Steal. We have word that the aliens are moving mass supplies near our area, hijack their ship, and steal their supplies. You will have refined Rebot? What the hell is a Rebot? Rebot reinforcements. We will be fitting you with a specially designed armor for higher altitudes. It's payback time with some Rebots. Hey, that's my favorite armor. For too long, we have been on the defensive, so it's high time that the humans give those aliens a taste of their own medicine. Therefore, along with our Rebot squad mates, we infiltrate the alien ship and begin to wreak havoc. I will say though, this is probably my least favorite map because 1, the platform layout just seems bland, and 2, well, you'll actually see later on. Still, our Rebots basically carry this level thanks to their increased health and flawless aim. You got something on your face, bud. And of course, avoid going down to waste disposal because that will lead to instant death. Also, just a brief commentary on the alien weapons. I'll be honest, I much prefer the human weapons because of their raw damage output. Yes, the alien weapons are quite creative in their design, but they're not quite combat effective compared to their human counterparts. This is another reason why this map and the other map of the new technology level just isn't my favorite. But let me know in the comments what you think about the alien weapons. In the end, the human and Rebot dream team is victorious against the aliens. Mission 11, second try. They destroyed our Rebots, but we're sending in Miller, Richards, and Simmons to help you get the rest of the supplies. Hell yeah, the squad is back together. So this mission is basically identical to the previous one, except instead of the Rebots, you're backed up by your main squad. I don't really have much to comment here, so instead, enjoy some montages. Oh, actually, I do have one thing to show you. Look on the left. So this is a glitch that occurs on this level specifically, where the AI of both friend and enemy can get stuck in a loop in that particular spot. And when multiple enemies are grouped together like this, it makes for an easy group kill with a grenade launcher. In the end, our elite Raze squad prevails to victory. Mission 12, Third's a Charm. They're sending in the last of the reinforcements. Finish them off to finally claim the supplies as our own. This is it, gents. We need to avenge our Rebots. Once again, we find ourselves in another virtually identical mission, except instead of aliens, we're surrounded by zombies, which just shows how desperate those aliens are. Still, aliens or zombies, nothing will stand in our way. Oh come on, Private Miller, what was that about? Now, as shown in the undead level, these zombies are quite chunky, so grab a grenade launcher since they make quick work in terms of damage, and easier to aim since the zombies are quite slow. Why the hell do you guys keep falling into the waste disposal? There's nothing down there! Despite our squad mates glutton for punishment, we still managed to win, thus finally capturing the alien ship for ourselves. Mission 13, Close Encounters. They are attacking our transport ship. We hear they have brought some sort of virus aboard. Eliminate the threat. And be careful. Uh-oh, I got a bad feeling about this. Those damn aliens, not wishing to be outdone, have conducted a daring assault on our transport ship. Not only that, but the aliens seem quite specialized compared to the ones we've encountered so far. They even fight more ferociously. Still, they shall not pass. Ouch, my head!
Stop that!
Sorry, Sarge.
I gotta stop hurting myself.
Well, despite the fact that everybody hogged up the best weapons, thus leaving me with only a magnum, we still prevailed against those alien bastards. Though, something tells me that this isn't over quite yet. Again, I got a bad feeling about this. Mission 14, Infection. That virus, it spread and infected your whole team. Luckily, you came out alive. But Miller, Richards, Simmons, Johnson, You must kill them. Kill them all. No, not Sergeant Johnson! No. Miller, Richards, Simmons, Sergeant Johnson! What have they done to you? As much as it pains me, I will do what I must. Sergeant Johnson? What are you doing out there? Come on, come back inside. It's cold out there. No? Alrighty then. Mission 15. Final battle. This is it. Killing this alien will cause the entire alien army to crumble. The fate of the human race is counting on this battle. Miller, Richards, Simmons, Sergeant Johnson, I shall avenge all of you. We return to the same nuclear power plant, where this whole damn war started. With our Raze squad gone and our rebots destroyed, we must face the final enemy, alone. The leader of the invasion, the alien commander, has accepted our challenge. But as eager as you may feel to fanatically charge and avenge our slain comrades, we must tread carefully. This alien commander likewise possesses enormous health and wields a mysterious energy weapon that vaporizes with rapid shots. Fortunately, there is only one target to concentrate, and the alien commander cannot utilize any other weapon, thus making him predictable. Therefore, as always, grab a rocket launcher and take shots at the commander from a distance. Unless you get an invincibility bonus, do not attempt to get close to him, as that means certain death. And grab a double damage bonus as well. The alien commander may seem intimidating, but as long as you grab the right weapons, which there are plenty, and maintain your distance and keep conducting hit and run tactics, this mission is honestly kind of a breeze. My squad, Sergeant Johnson. I've avenged all of you. And that finally wraps up the human campaign of Raze. Humanity may be saved, but lots of sacrifices were made along the way, and they shall not be forgotten. Though humanity has prevailed, some of you may wonder, what if things turned out differently? Well, with the human campaign complete, the alien campaign finally becomes unlocked to play. And we shall find out now. But are we gonna go over every single mission like we did with the human campaign? Oh ho ho, not so fast, kiddos. 1. This video is already getting long enough as it is, and time is of essence. 2. The alien campaign is almost identical to the human campaign anyways, so there isn't really anything unique to offer. Therefore, we'll instead just do a quick overview. And don't worry, for the Raze veterans, I will go over that one dreaded mission. As stated before, with the aliens, you essentially play the same campaign, but in an alternate timeline, from the perspective of that one red alien you faced off as the Raze soldier. However, the difficulties of the alien levels are significantly higher, which is why the human campaign must be completed first to unlock the alien campaign. So buckle up, because this will not be a walk in the park. You begin by being dropped straight into a VR arena against bots. But, instead of a deathmatch, it's a juggernaut match, where all players compete for the Juggernaut status, where you gain increased health, but in turn, unable to acquire health packs or shields. But you can still acquire the double damage and invincibility bonuses. Instead of protecting Sergeant Johnson, you and your alien squad must take him down, along with his Raze soldier companion, which is you from the human campaign. And despite outnumbering those two, my god, they are buffed as hell in this level. Then again, it's Sergeant Johnson, and it's only fitting considering how badass he is. And this is still nothing compared to the dreaded level 26. Oh boy, where do I even begin with this level? Level 26. This is the same level of the human campaign where you infiltrate the alien ship with your rebot companions. And since those robots were chunky as hell, they were quite the MVPs. But now that you're facing off against those robots, this mission becomes an utter nightmare. In fact, I never even got to beat this mission when I was a kid, and it was only recently, 16 years later as an adult, that I finally managed to beat it, and that's after almost 20 attempts. There are even online forums of people complaining about being stuck on this particular level, and it's no wonder. The robots can take multiple shots from a railgun and a grenade launcher, thus requiring multiple teammates to gang up on just one robot. The problem? The robots just gang up on you and take you down before you even fire a shot, thanks to their inhuman aim and movement. Look, I don't mind a challenge, but the problem with this level is that the difficulty feels really artificial, where the stats of the robots are just jacked up without any balancing considerations. Therefore, it's no wonder why so many people are frustrated with this level. So, you may then be wondering, Lawrence, how the hell did you beat this level? Well, viewers, after a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, here are some patterns I've noticed about this level, and therefore, some tips I think may help. But disclaimer, this is not a guarantee to victory. In fact, just like me, you will have multiple frustrating attempts. So buckle up, because you're in for a long ride. Number 1, avoid the robots. Simple as that. The fact is you mathematically cannot face off a robot one-on-one due to the sheer imbalance of stats. Therefore, instead, just like the alien commander from the human campaign, conduct hit-and-run tactics. Fire off a barrage from your weapon and then retreat. And use long-range weapons like the railgun or grenade launcher. And don't even bother with the zapper, because getting up and close with a robot means certain death. So don't try to be a hero and fight smart. Number 2, target the human enemy. Yes, the same Raze soldier you play as from the human campaign. Unlike the robots, the Raze soldier has regular health stats and therefore a much more viable target. And given how he's the weakest link of the enemy team, targeting the human enemy is the best chance you have to equalize the scoreboard. Number 3, grab all the powerful weapons like railguns or grenade launchers before the enemy can. If the robots get their hands on them, they become unstoppable. Yes, they're dangerous with any weapon, but at least you can dodge their fire. But if the robots get a hold of a railgun, it's practically game over since they can one-shot you off-screen. So grab those damn railguns before the robots do. Number 4, this isn't so much of a tip, but this whole level is down to a lot of luck as well. You can follow the previous tips to the T, and you will still fail multiple attempts because of the utter imbalance that's level 26. Therefore, this level will require a lot of trial by fire. And take advantage of glitches as well, like when multiple enemies just hang out in one spot like here, which makes them an easy target to camp with a grenade launcher. Nevertheless, you're in for a long ride, so buckle up and good luck, soldier. And finally, we conclude with a final mission, where instead of the alien commander, we face off against Sergeant Johnson, who somehow got revived and became a cyborg. Okay. This level is not that different from the human equivalent, with Sergeant Johnson having increased health and taking place in the same nuclear power plant. However, instead of soloing, you have the backing of your entire team. Furthermore, unlike the alien commander, Sergeant Johnson doesn't have his own unique weapon and just uses regular weapons like everybody else, which is great overall, but if he gets a hand on a rocket launcher, it's kinda tricky. This honestly makes the alien final mission a little easier than the human equivalent. And after the absolute nightmare that's level 26, the final mission will feel like a walk in the park. And that finally concludes the Alien campaign. Congratulations, you've completed the game. With the main human forces aside, the aliens now reign supreme and enslave humanity forever. Oh no. No. No! What have I done?! And that finally concludes our unintentional semi-walkthrough, which I promise was not planned, but somehow ended up materializing. And I hope you enjoyed the silly commentary as well. Now, it's easy to look at Raze on the surface and dismiss it as some 2D wannabe Halo knockoff on the browser. Though, it's pretty clear that a lot of the references like Sergeant Johnson were intentional to serve as gags more than anything. Story-wise, it's pretty basic, serving more as a filler to provide some kind of narrative of the human versus alien conflict. Compared to many modern games, be it on console, mobile, or Steam, yeah, it's pretty bare bones in terms of content. And the lack of online multiplayer really does feel like a missed opportunity. That said, Raze does have a charm of its own. The overall gameplay may be relatively simple, yet it's still engaging as hell with its creative weapon designs and arena maps. The one job it tries to do, which is being a 2D platform-based sci-fi shooter game, Raze does it very well. And once again, remember, this game came out in 2010 as a Flash game. This was a time when many Flash games were either stick figures or just roughly animated crusty cartoons. But with Raze, its highly detailed environments, fluid movement of characters, and weapon effects made it hard to believe that it was a Flash game of all things. For the standards of the time, especially with the technology that was available, Raze held up spectacularly. Raze was not created by some multi-million-dollar studio, but two extremely talented and passionate individuals who just wanted to create an awesome game that was accessible for the masses like myself, and that alone is commendable. And of course, I just can't not mention the bomb-ass music again. Raze offered something very memorable for many people's childhoods, and frankly, still continues to provide value today as well, as I've recently gone on a bit of a Flash games binge thanks to Blue Maxima's Flashpoint Archives, which has archived thousands of Flash games from our childhood. Ever since Flash got discontinued back in 2020, the Flashpoint Archives has been an invaluable source to preserve those same childhood memories. Perhaps I'm feeling a bit too nostalgic, but it's thanks to those great childhood experiences, Raze will always hold a special place in my heart. So thank you Justin and Addison for this great experience, even though level 26 was absolute hell. In the About section, there is a brief note where the devs describe some of the features that did not make it to the game, such as upgrades, interactive environments, and of course, online play. And since they didn't make it to the final game, these were then planned for the sequel. And how did the sequel turn out? Well, join us next time as we cover Raze 2. And finally, something interesting I found and just had to mention. Back in March 25th, the YouTube channel Sky9 Games, which is actually the studio behind both Raze and Strikeforce Heroes, ominously released a video containing the same main menu theme of the original Raze game, but with both remastered audio and background animation, showing the same skyline from the original but remade with contemporary graphics. Now, I don't want to speculate too much here, but hear me out. Why would Sky9 Games go out of its way to recreate the Raze main menu with an entire animated background from scratch? Surely must be more than just a one-time gimmick, right? Furthermore, their other popular 2D shooter, Strikeforce Heroes, actually did get a complete remaster for Steam 2 years ago. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, Raze Remastered coming soon? Please? Justin and Mike, if you guys are somehow watching this video right now, please? Well then, that finally concludes the retrospective and nostalgia trip for Raze. If you're a Raze veteran from 2010, I hope I was able to revive some childhood memories for you. And if you're younger and never experienced these golden years of Flash games, I highly recommend you to download Flashpoint Archives and give Raze a try. Link to its download will be in the description below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next part with Raze 2. Now, if you would excuse me, I'm gonna go play a couple more matches. Thank you to my patrons on Patreon for supporting this channel. My $5 patrons are Kapitan Sladek, Kidsap, Chocoburb, and Dravenraven. My $2 patrons are Komida the Prep Cook Demon. If you would like to appear at the end credits of my videos, as well as have early access and exclusive content on Patreon, feel free to hop on over to patreon.com/LTELawrence and give a pledge. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching. Until next time, this is T. Lawrence of the Arcadia, signing out.